paint me like one of your French girls. Anyway, hey, hi-ho, and what? And howdy. That was the end what. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome yet again to not just another video of our most delectable, our most scrumptious, our most fantastical, wonderful, joyous Volume 8 soundtrack reactions, our final one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Friend by Jeff Williams and Casey Lee Williams. As I have established, did I say this was the last one? I don't remember. I've already forgot something I may or may not have said 10.5 seconds ago. Dumb brain. Wouldn't have mattered if I actually listened to the whole song, because I wouldn't remember it. But no, I have today not heard the entirety of this song at all. I've barely heard any of it. I've heard maybe the first 30 minutes. Yeah. 30 minutes, idiot. The first 30 seconds, and maybe like the last 10 seconds. And that is the entirety of my experience with Friend. I have skipped it in every reaction I've ever watched. Skipped it in my reaction. Life is pain. They put this song out immediately after the fucking volume was over. It's been sitting there waiting for me the whole time, and I haven't watched it. God damn it, but we're here now. We're going to watch it. It's going to be great. I'm going to listen to it with my ears. I'm going to cry because Penny hurt my feelings, and Penny's amazing, and I love her dearly. God damn you, RWBY. Yeah. I'm going to try and not waste my entire discussion in the first, like, before I've listened to the song. So I'm not going to do that. So we're pretty much just going to jump into this here. Huge thank you to everyone who's been joining me along for these. I really love doing the soundtrack reactions. They're just a lot of fun to do. Obviously, any video where I get to sit here and talk about RWBY is my fucking jam, but soundtrack reactions in particular are just kind of a really fun, interesting thing to do, and I do them in a weird way, so thank you to everyone who puts up with that weird shit. It just makes me happy. I enjoy it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and listen to Friend. I'm gonna watch it, because again, lyrics, and I want to absorb them with my eyeballs. But we're gonna go ahead and listen. Again, what is it about? It's a Penny song. That's all I know about it. I know that when they put it out, they did fucking artwork by, I believe it was AG Nonsuch, right? I believe that's their stuff. I'm so sorry if I'm fucking that up, because they're wonderful. But incredibly adorable art. I believe they did all the art for the what was it, the lyric videos that Sirs and Madams did last year as well. There's the art style, super fucking cute, but I do believe they did the official art for the song and everything as well, which is super fucking sweet. Again, I know it is a Penny song. I with the title, I can have some imagines about it. I can imagine some dragons. I can imagine what it's going to be about. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of sad. Whether or not every ounce of tears have been wrung out of my soul since Penny's death, I guess we'll have to find out, but we'll see. Again, I don't know how much I'll have to say about it, because I did spend about 2 or 3 hours talking about that shit at the end of the volume, so I don't know what I will have to say, but I'm at least going to take a listen to it, and we're going to enjoy it together, because I've been waiting to listen to this song for like a fucking year now. Anyway, Friend, once again, by Jeff and Casey. We're going to go ahead and do it. Thank you, as always, again, to the wonderful Sirs and Madams. Again, I do believe it is Bruce in particular putting these together. Fucking legend. Absolute lad. Total duderino. I'm a fan. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. And hopefully I won't cry like the little bitch boy that I am. I like not. My chances. There we go. Whew, so close to having that sound semi-natural. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm fucked. Get off my screen. I want to read. Now, I'm wondering if this is a later version of Penny, or if maybe it's more kind of a general her as a character, or more kind of just her earlier on progression of always trying to find a friend and always find, you know what I mean. I'm wording it very poorly, but I fucking miss her, dude. Do you remember when I used to not care about Penny? And I mean it as like, I just didn't have the same love for that character as everyone else did in the first few volumes. And she's now like my 6th or 7th favorite character of all time. Nope, didn't use them all yet. I had no idea it got kind of this happy and upbeat and cute and sweet, but it's very Penny. Fuck you guys. That's so mean. You guys are assholes. Jeff, Casey. I know Casey probably didn't write this. Jeff, you're an asshole for writing it, and Casey's an asshole for for bringing it to life. God damn it. Hallelujah. Shut up. I am not in the mood. You happy dancing man. Do I look... Do I radiate happy dancing smiling man energy right now, you fucker? I'm sure you're a very lovely individual. You put that on me right now. I can't. I'm fragile. Fucking shit. Oh, I knew it was gonna hurt. Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be so fucking cute and sweet and mention just reference so much shit. I'm not gonna do what I want to do, which is I want to talk some shit, but I'm not gonna talk some shit. It's been just like kind of slightly referenced it in the last video, but I'm instead going to do it by being exclusively positive. Fucking hell, Penny is an amazingly beautiful, sweet, wonderful character. Again, I talked about it earlier. I wrote that character off in a lot of ways when I was early on in the show. Like, I didn't appreciate that character for what she was, and she did not connect for me as much as many other people did. Like, for a lot of people, Penny was their favorite character. Just this incredibly lovable, innocent, sweet being who wanted nothing more than to have friends and to protect the world. And, like, I didn't, she was just the weird, goofy robot being. Like, that was it. That was all. And, like, the design was fine, and I enjoyed her, but that was it. I just enjoyed her as she was. The fun robot girl who wants friends and to fight and save the world. That was what she was to me. And I still remember when Volume 3 happened. I still remember that moment when the build-up obviously was always there. And it was interesting. I've talked about this before, but I remember when that happened in Volume 3 because I was watching it as it happened. I sadly, again, didn't start reacting or doing anything RWBY related on the channel because the channel didn't fucking exist. But doing anything RWBY related YouTube wise until Volume 4. But I still remember in that moment, like, even not having all of the love in the world for that character, I still remember the build up character and everyone around me and myself all just being fucking just dreading whatever was happening. It's super interesting to watch reactions to Volume 3 now and how differently people perceive Volume 3 until Volume 3 is concluded. There's a lot of people that you'll watch reactions of who don't fear it, who don't take it seriously, who in that moment aren't thinking one of them is about to die. Like, I remember when we were sitting there and I was just fucking terrified of my, like Penny is gonna kill Pyrrha, Pyrrha's gonna kill Penny, they're gonna take over Penny, something is gonna happen, something is bad, I don't know what is going to happen, but we were dreading it. And I don't know if it was because we'd gotten like the warning from like Gray and stuff. I was like, hey, by the way, parents should probably watch this before your kids do. Like, we didn't make this as a kid's show. Not intentionally. Like, a lot of kids showed up and watched it, but that wasn't the intention. Like, we weren't trying to say fuck all the time. Like, they stopped Jeff after the first song, he says fuck, or Lamar says fucking, and they're like, ooh, this wasn't really the tone we were going for. Like, they're still like, we didn't mean it for kids either. And I don't know if it was that, fucking hair in my mouth. What the fuck? That all like building on itself. I remember the dread of watching Volume 3 week by week with people. And it was so fucking scary and heartbreaking and awful and fucking just infecting you with concern and pain. And it's so interesting to watch reactions these days, and you have so many people who watch that, and it never even occurs to them that they're about to just see everything that they enjoy destroyed. Like, it doesn't even cross them. Like, even after Penny dies, some people are, like, obviously, they just completely, they're like, she's a robot, that's gonna be fine, or whatever. And then everyone else starts dying, too. And, like, it's not, I don't think it's even until... Like, even Roman, because, like, some people are like, I can't believe that just fucking happened to Roman, because for a lot of people, Roman is, I just lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. Roman is their favorite villain, or whatever the hell. But even then, there's some people who don't even register it after that, because, like, because they view Roman what Roman actually is, which is just kind of a goofy tool that dies, because he's an asshole. And I like that character, especially after reading, Roman Holiday. He's fucking great in that book. Again, the end of that book where he's just talking the maddest of shit to them. He's just fucking rolling up on the vanilles. I don't know. It's really, is vanilla or vanille? I don't remember. Point is, he's talking mad shit, and it makes me very, very happy because she needed people to stand up for her, and the boy did it. Other than that, like, it's... Even then, a lot of people don't register it, and then Yang gets her fucking arm cut off, and Amber dies, and fucking... And then, obviously, the fate gets sealed with Pyrrha. But, like, so interesting watching through that. And the reason I mention it, again, is talking about Penny. Even in that moment, it didn't click for me fully what that meant. And I don't know when it eventually came around to meaning something to me. But it was a while, man. Like, it took me a long time to fully attach to Penny. And and I know that it definitely wasn't until after Penny came back. And I utterly fell in love with her with just, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because we'd been through so much more stuff and things mattered so much more. And it wasn't just, oh, these are a bunch of kids in a school. Like, no, now it's, hey, we've grown up and there's a lot of this shit we've had to go through and people we've lost and what they meant to us. And the story became so much more than just people fucking about in a school. And it became a legitimately very beautiful thing at points. And then you get Penny again, and for whatever reason, I really attached to Penny, and I did a lot in Volume 7, of course. We got her back. Also, I would like to just say her design is wonderful, and I would like to marry her a lot. But that's not the point. I stand by that. She's wonderful. And she had real people toes and everything. And it was really cute. I don't have a foot thing, but it's just adorable. Of course, you get through 7, and she grows a lot more because she becomes so much more throughout the last 2 volumes that she's in than she was. And I think the reason why is because in the first 2 volumes, she's just the goofy robot girl. And goofy robot girl is cool and it's fun, but goofy robot girl doesn't mean much. And of course, there's moments that matter. There's her reveal, and there's moments in between with her and RWBY, and her death is fucking crushing. But she doesn't have an abundance of time to truly become this complete character in the same way that Pyrrha does. Pyrrha got a lot of time to really accentuate who she was, and obviously it was cut far too short. But it was cut too short in a way where you were able to truly connect to her. At least I was. And again, I know I am in the minority for a lot of people, and a lot of people really connected to Penny and really fell in love with her. But it wasn't until Volume 7 that I started to as well. And Volume 8 is an entire volume of her just fucking going through it. And and I completely and utterly fell in love with that character by the end. And then they fucking rip her away from you again. And this time, you don't get a comeback from that. And it fucking hurts, dude. It hurts so bad. I've talked about it a lot of times before, but RWBY's handling of death is so fucking frustrating. And I love it. And because it's very important and it means something. It's definitely not a unique saying, but just recently I was randomly listening to something, and they were talking about stuff. I can't remember what it was. I think it was about a real life thing, like someone who had actually died. But someone had said something like, well, blah, 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 that's a bummer or something. Or I can't remember what the conversation was, but they were talking about it. And the other person immediately turned over like, what the oh, I'm sorry, is death fucking inconvenient for you? Did that not happen at the right time? Did it not just magically wait for everything to iron itself out and be perfect? Who'd have fucking thought? Death. No, really? it was like, yeah. Because that's how that works. Like, it doesn't wait. It doesn't come to you like that. And I think it's extremely important that that is shown in media sometimes. And it's hard because I've talked about 1,000 times before. Death is the scariest fucking thing in the world for me. And it is horrible. And, like, Anohana is sad. But it, like, that is a whole show that, for whatever reason, ruined me, and not in the same way it ruins everyone else, in a way of just complete and utter existential dread. That show ruined me until the ending, when I bawled my eyes out like a bitch because of the same reason everyone else did, because saying goodbye sucks. But just, it's something that is handled very naturally in the show. Happens with Pyrrha. Pyrrha was literally supposed to be the person to overcome everything. She was the hero. She was the unkillable. She was the untouchable girl. She was everything that a huntsman or a huntress should be. And she died. A kid. Just killed. Just murdered. And yeah, like that's it. There's no more. And maybe we'll see her again, especially if there's an afterlife thing. I would be astonished if you don't hear off screen, hello again, and everyone just breaks into fucking tears as you're looking at John, and then it pans over to her or some shit. That's how I would do it. Anyway, point is, like, that's possible, but that character is still gone in that sense. And that's it. That there's nothing you can do about it. Penny was very much the same way. And again, we got Penny back, thankfully. But we were extraordinarily lucky to have Penny back and have her back the way we were. You don't always get a second chance. And you definitely don't ever get a third. And, but like, yeah. It happened with SiennaCon as well. And in the end, it happens with Penny again. Penny's story is a profoundly beautiful and sweet and wonderful one. I'm gonna talk the tiniest bit of shit. I'm so sorry, but just the tiniest bit. After Volume 8 came out, I saw a video from someone who points out, like, Penny's story doesn't make any sense, or whatever the fuck. And I tried to watch as much of it as I could without just fucking seething at the mouth. Like, just having a goddamn aneurysm. But, like, it basically boiled down to, I don't get it. And it was so frustrating to me. And it's not because it's okay if you don't get something. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Ask someone for help. Ask someone, and if you still don't get it, well then, hey, that's just you. You don't get it. That's how it is. I do take issue with it when people go, I don't get it because I didn't think about it for more than 10.5 seconds. So it's bad, and you're bad for thinking it's good, and they should be ashamed for making it, or whatever the fuck. And that really frustrated me. But especially since that is one of my favorite character stories, period. Yeah. It doesn't have a happy ending. Yeah. She dies right after becoming a girl, like a real girl. Because I'm sorry, was death inconvenient for you? They live in a horrible world that needs people to stand up and be heroes and protect it and fight for it. The whole fucking premise of this volume, the intro, as we talked about earlier, is about we're going to stand and fight anyway, even though we're definitely going to die, because it's the right thing to do. It is what Pyrrha did. It's what Penny in Volume 3 didn't get the chance to do. And it's what Penny in Volume 8 did get the chance to do. To protect her friends, even though it meant she would throw away everything that she has got. And she got everything. She got friends. She got people who love her. She got a real body. She was a person. And not just in a you're a person to me sense, or like you're as real as even nuts and bolts. A real flesh and blood fucking meat person, as she would say in Chibi. And she did it anyway. Because it was the right thing to do. Not because it was convenient. Because she's a fucking hero. And it made me so sad that you'd have people who watched that and was like, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, it makes all of the sense in the world. I can't imagine experiencing that and not getting it. Yeah, it hurts. It's awful. It's horrendous. It's not fair. One of the biggest themes in the entire show is about it not being fair. The entire show is filled with, hey, about that fairy tale ending. Nope. We might not even get one in the end. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll get really lucky, and all of that hard work will have paid off, because that's another huge theme of it is you have to fucking work for it, and it's not always going to work out. You're going to get hurt, and you're going to fail, and it's going to... Sometimes it's worth it all to risk the fall to fight for every life. It's the fucking point of the goddamn show. These are huge, constant, interconnected themes within the show. And again, some people have such a shallow interpretation of it, and it does make me really sad. And I'm not going to talk about that anymore, because I don't want to be angsty and shit about this. But I did want to talk about it because it's a huge thing about Penny. You have a character who was built to be this hero, and she doesn't do it because she was built to. She becomes the hero after that's all gone, because it's the right thing to do. After she's gotten everything, after she has everything to lose, she dies trying to protect Jean and Weiss. That's what a fucking hero does. And it is soul-crushing. And it's not fair. It's cruel. And I don't know if I could ever see a better ending for that character. And I want there to be more of her. I want her to come back. I want all of that, and I want her to live happily ever after. I want her and RWBY to get fucking married, and I say that as a person who likes Rose Garden quite a lot. To be honest with you, I just think it's really fucking cute. Nuts and Bolts is the shit. I don't care. I want that character to be happy. But the way it ended was incredibly profound and beautiful. Her story is incredibly sweet. I have never given a shit about the Pinocchio story. It's fine. Penny's is beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't have a happy ending. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have a fair ending. Yes, it doesn't make sense in as much as you would want that to go a different way. Of course you would. I would have loved for it to go a different way, but it didn't. Because I'm sorry, but was death inconvenient for you? I don't know if you've caught on. That's literally the premise of the foundation of the show is, hey Salem, I'm sorry, but was death inconvenient for you? Because yeah, it's pretty fucking convenient in fairy tales. It's not always that convenient in real life. And maybe it's just because I have the fear that I do, but that is incredibly impactful for me. Because death is something I'm so constantly fucking afraid of, maybe that's why it means so much more to me. Why the story of this girl finding out who she is, and in ways, whether intentionally or not, kind of working as an allegory for the trans experience and for, you know, finding your personal identity. Another huge theme of the show. Again, fits in with Weiss. We literally had another song about it in it for Nora, like being who you are and finding your happiness in you. And still having that taken away from you. Like, yeah, it hurts. But that doesn't make it less beautiful. In a lot of ways, it makes it more so. Doesn't mean that character is wasted. There is no such thing as a wasted character. I'm sorry. I do not consider that a thing. I never have, never will. Penny's story is one of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen in writing, in fiction, and I would not trade it for anything. Yes, I want her to be happy. When the credits roll, I want her to be living her best, even if it's not living. I've talked about it before, but I've always said, like, if there was any one of the girls who probably wasn't going to make it from the main four, it would probably be RWBY at the very end, right? Kind of a once again, much like with Penny and Pyrrha, a heroic sacrifice or something to that effect. A kind of a mirror of her mother, stuff like that. I'm not saying I would love that. I'm just saying if anyone was going to go, it would likely be her. That would make the most sense to me. In the same way that Cinder being the final holdout makes the most sense to me. And if that's the way it goes, then that's what I want to see. And when the credits roll, those two meet each other again and fucking Sovngarde and shit and live their best. I don't know. I just adore that character and everyone who helped make that character who she is. From fucking Taylor to, again, all of the writers and everyone who brought her to life through animation and just everything. Like, you guys created one of my favorite characters of all time. Someone who truly means the world to me. And you did it out of a character who I originally didn't care about. It's funny, again, kind of done that twice with this show. Weiss is my least favorite character in the whole show. She's now my favorite. Penny was a character I cared very, very little about. Now she's my second favorite character without even remotely any sort of question. I don't know. It hurts. It hurts. It was a big pain. I'm sorry I didn't say more about the song itself. Because the song is really just, hey, I'm Penny. The song's just, I'm Penny. And so I just wanted to talk again about how much I love that fucking character. There was another kind of detour I wanted to take on Penny, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that, and we're gonna listen to it one more time. And I'm gonna cry a little bit more because I'm a bitch. And then we're going to go ahead and say goodbye for a little while, and hopefully Volume 9 will rock and roll up on us again, and hopefully won't hurt us a ton, but it definitely will. Again, especially if on the off chance the theory does work out and we do fuck around with afterlife shit, probably will see Penny again. Woo! That's not gonna hurt like a motherfucker. It's not gonna destroy me. Fuck. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and listen to it one more time. I hope you all join me on this journey through tears. The final time for the Volume 8 soundtrack. In 3, 2, 1, go. Again, I really liked kind of the way they went with this too, because I was expecting this to be more the tone throughout the entirety of the song, but the fact that they kind of brought it around and it came in an extremely Penny tone as the song progressed, it was very, very good, and I really appreciated it. I get it, man. I get wanting more for her. Because Penny deserved the entire fucking world. And it means the world to me that she got it for a second. And it means a lot in a very sad way that she didn't get to keep it forever. I did remember what I wanted to talk about. But it was mostly just that she did get it. Like, she didn't get to keep it forever, but she will always keep it with her, you know? In that moment when she's saying goodbye to Winter, she's not sad at all. She is happy and proud of what she did and her friends, and she knows they're gonna do it. She's saying goodbye to her friends because she knows she has fucking friends. And it doesn't fix it. But that means the world knowing that in the end she finally had it all, and she had it. It was short, but she had it, and that is what mattered. This part hurts like a motherfucker, but is beautiful, by the way. Once again, and I say this with all the love in the world to Jeff and Casey, will never hear this. Fuck you guys. And thank you. You guys are mean. Again, it's funny. Talked so much in Be Strong and Hit stuff again about identity, which again, it's a huge theme of the show, but And again, I talked up that JJ game a whole lot. A lot of connective tissue between all of those and themes and shit. Such a sucker for that kind of a story, dude. And again, it's why that game hooked me the way it did, and why the Jin and Misaki and Nora and Ren of it all hook me, and why Weiss is my favorite character, and why Penny's my second favorite, and why this is one of my favorite stories, personal stories. Again, man, she got it. In the end, she got it. It wasn't... The fact that it got taken away isn't what matters. It's that she got it. And again, there's something so beautiful about a literal robot being built to be a hero and a protector and all that. And that was the least hero and protectory thing that she could be. It was her humanity that did it. Because if she was just a robot, she would have fucking sided with Ironwood and everybody'd be fucking dead. Like, it's a huge part of her thing with Winters. Who's the real robot? The Master Chief of it all. Like... But again, it was everything that made Penny Penny who made her that real girl. Didn't matter that you had nuts and bolts, just squishy guts. It's one of my favorite characters of all time, and such a profoundly, unbelievably beautiful fucking story. And I'm so sad it ends the way that it does. But fuck me if it doesn't mean something. Yeah, it's pretty fucking inconvenient. But it means something. Knew that song was gonna fucking destroy me. I'm glad I waited though. Can't wait for that to be officially added to the list of RWBY songs that anytime I hear it, I will cry. It's great. There's a good few of those. Yeah. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and finally end it. I'm going to officially close the book on RWBY... Oh my god, on RWBY Volume 8. I'm going to say goodbye to Penny for the last time. We'll see how that goes. RWBY's mean. We might not see... We might see her again. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Volume 8 soundtrack. I don't think it is my favorite, or I still think that's probably gonna lean towards a 5 or 6. 4 is also fucking great. That whole fucking trio is gorgeous. That's weird. 4 and 5 in particular, volumes tend to get a lot of shit, but I think they easily have some of the best soundtracks, and that's saying something because, as I've said before, there is not a bad Jeff and Casey song. It does not exist. Yeah, I still really enjoyed it. I don't. I'll have to listen to them more to really decide. But easily my two favorites, without question. Be Strong and Hit Stuff and Friend. There's I don't know which I put over the other, but there's no competition. It's between those two. Again, I love The Truth for what it is, but God, I wish it was longer. Or at the very least that we get a part 2, because especially since I really think you could do interesting things with that. And I think that would make the short, The Truth, Part 1, legitimately really good as a pair and really means something as a whole more than it means purely on its own. The Sky is Falling is a fun one, but I don't have too much more to say other than that. The intro I think is good. It's not my favorite, but I do enjoy it. Obviously, I haven't heard the remix, but I will be listening to that and we'll see how it is. Again, generally speaking, I'm not huge on the remixes. Most of them don't really land for me. But like, again, the Nevermore remix is a lot of fun, which is weird because it's a very fucking kind of haunting, emotional song. But it makes a fun fucking dance number, I'll tell you what. And of course, there is A Treasure, which again, I just kind of enjoy as the resident kind of slow, sad song. Those are rarely my big particular standouts. I think Home is probably the biggest one that lands for me personally of the whole bunch. But even then, I wouldn't consider that my favorite on that volume either. Though again, I enjoy all of them. And of course, Awake, which was a lot of fun. I would love to hear more OK Goodnight stuff. I would love to hear recommendations if anyone has any particular standouts or anything like that. Yeah, I was on the shorter side on a whole, which is a little sad. But again, I totally get it considering. And I'm very just happy to get what we got, because what we got was really good. I would have been fine if literally all we got in the soundtrack was Friend and fucking Be Strong and Hit Stuff. That would have been enough for me, but I got more than that too. So I am okay with it. I really enjoyed it. Again, a huge thank you and a shout out to Jeff and Casey for all the work they do. Again, Casey, a disgusting talent. I am so jealous and so happy and so proud, which is weird to say, but also, you look at you was baby. I was fairly baby at the time as well, slightly less baby, but you know, I feel weird being older than you, but it's not that much. I think. Where is she? How fucking old is she now? I don't fucking remember. She's a goddamn adult. That's all I know. Probably drinks. Gets tipsy in the club and shit. I don't fucking know. But, point is, that growth and progression, I've talked about 1,000 times. The growth of the series has always been something I find immensely beautiful and wonderful and spectacular about it. And the music and stuff is much the same. Again, Casey's growth as she goes, and Jeff's growth with his constant experimentation and weird, fun fucking shit all over the... It's great. I love it. And again, as always, sir, an utter talent. Thank you for always gifting us with such fun shit, even if I read into it way more than you want me to. I do what I want. But it's a huge part of the fun for me, so I appreciate you giving me the opportunity, because even if you're not trying, you're succeeding in giving me the opportunity, sir. Huge love and shout outs and respect to them. Shout out to Lamar Hall, as always, dropping in with just a little bit of extra fun. Always appreciate getting to hear the boy. Again, I am not a rap guy fucking at all. But I can always make a little time for some Lamar Hall on the soundtrack and stuff like that. And Callie Lamar crossover. No, but yeah, that was wonderful. Again, to the okay goodnight folks. Again, I don't know everyone who's in there, and I don't know who's responsible for what, but massive shout outs to them. You guys are awesome. I'm a fan. My experience is very limited, but I am a fan. Yes. Though we didn't cover it in this at all. Besides from a few shout outs here and there, a huge shout out to the likes of Alex Abraham. And I do believe there were other people who came in. I think even like some of, if I remember correctly, hearing from Alex or like on Twitter or something like that, that they talked about like even like some of the okay goodnight folks or something even like kind of jumped in and fucked around into some kind of cool shit on the actual scores. I think that's the case. Don't quote me on that, but I vaguely remember hearing that. If I'm wrong, crucify me. Don't actually, just be like, you're wrong. But I think that was actually a thing that happened that he was talking about. So shout outs to everyone who helped out with there. Again, shout outs to Alex in general for just generally speaking doing cool fucking work with the score. I love RWBY's score in general. I don't always pay attention. Like every once in a while there's certain games or something like that really stand out to me. Cat or Soda soundtrack I can listen to any fucking day of the week. The Pokemon Sun and Moon soundtrack is perfect. There is nothing on there that is wrong, and I will eat your face off of your face if you ever try and tell me that it's not. And shit like that. But generally speaking, especially with shows in particular, I don't really focus on scores and stuff like that. Just it's not an area of expertise I latch on to. RWBY is one example where that is not the case, where I really focus on like leitmotifs and shit like that, and themes and repetition and shit like that, because I find it very, very fascinating and wonderful. And there's really cool stuff, especially, and I think Volume 8 has easily my favorite score of the volumes. It has the most instantly recognizable and memorable for me. It is extremely well done and interesting. There's some really cool, weird, interesting shit. I love the I love what Alex did with the vocals for the hound scene. I love it. I think that's really clever and interesting and sweet. And again, it's very much the same. Well, it's not necessarily canon. It's as canon as it needs to be, and I will fight you, person who has infinitely more connection to decide what is canon in the show than I do. Which is to say, you don't have that, but that's still infinitely more than I do. But I'll fight you anyway. That's right. We'll duke it out and try and decide it the old-fashioned way. Seriously, though. Amazing talents, all of them. I loved the score of this volume. And last but not least, huge shout-outs to, again, Sirs and Madams putting this together. Again, I do believe it's Bruce, though if anyone else helped, massive shout-outs to you for putting these together. Again, number one, they're just really nice to have for in general. But especially for reacting and shit like that, being able to actually take in the lyrics, especially when I'm a fucking idiot and would totally, I have that shit where like, I don't remember what the fucking term is for it, where I just hear a completely different fucking lyric. Just, that's not even remotely the right word. You realize the word you're looking for is in the title of the song, which you know the song's title. How could you possibly have fucked this up? Yeah, it's a very common thing, but it's easy to get futzed up on lyrics sometimes. So obviously, always appreciate that. Thank you for not only covering it for all of us like absolute legends, but getting to it really fucking quick. And thanks to Jeff and Casey for giving the lyrics out to them. Which I know at least they did last year. I don't know if they did this year, but I think they did, though it might have been a teeny bit on the later side. Again, this kind of came out really weird and wonky, but we got there in the end. Yeah, and even lastly and not leastlier, thank you to all of you for watching with me. Obviously for just watching RWBY in general and watching me and being accepting of me and putting up with my weird shit and all of that. I don't know. Again, I've talked about it 1,000 times already, but RWBY's my favorite show of all time. Getting to experience it with others legitimately means the world to me. And I am so sad that I didn't do that early on. And in ways I did. Like, I was in the days of Volume 2, the end of Volume 1, into Volume 3 and shit. I was really active on the RWBY subreddit, and that's partially how I got into voice acting. And the entire reason I started YouTube and shit like that. So, also weird shout out. It'll be a few days late because it's today. I mean for you guys, but the Kato Shoujo 10th anniversary is today as I'm recording this on the 5th. And it is so weird to think about. This channel doesn't exist without Kato Shoujo and RWBY. It's so weird. Because I don't ever get interested in anime without those two. Which is hilarious because both of those are not Japanese. They're made by presumably very white people. Obviously, RWBY and stuff is a bit more diverse than that. But, you know, what I'm saying it's just very not Eastern, but just made by a bunch of people who really like that shit. So, and that helped get me into all of that. And without that, obviously, again, I don't do the YouTube. So I don't talk to you right now. Among many other things, as has been discussed. But yeah, it's just, it I don't know. Sweet. Yeah, so again, thank you to everyone who's joined me. It means the world to me, legitimately. There are a few things that make me happier than getting to spend time talking about the things that I love the most with you guys. Again, like fucking Pokemon and RWBY. These are my jams. And I'm sad that I don't always have the biggest followings with those, and it sucks. And it's a very bitch shit thing to complain about. I'm kind of a bitch. Yeah. Anyway, I love you all very dearly. Stay safe, stay wonderful, stay beautiful, take care of yourselves. And you know, fucking be strong and hit stuff.